This is Sam from Uniondale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. The Knicks have some decisions to make. You've got extensions, players available for extensions. You've still got a veteran roster spot. You've got some two-way players after Summer League. What do the Knicks do? Let's analyze. Well, the Knicks in the offseason or in when free agency hit, they got they went the French route. They got Garçon Yabusele. They've got Jordan Clarkson, who's going to help shore up the bench. I think for the offseason so far, I think it's been I give Leon Rose, I give him an A for that. I think they shored up the bench. I didn't want to lose Precious Achiuwa, I didn't want to lose Precious, but Gershon is going to do more. I did not want to also, I there were some guys I wanted the Knicks to bring back. I liked the leadership of PJ Tucker, but he was just a voice in the locker room. At this point, he wasn't going to do anything, right? And then also a DeLon Wright. I thought he was a guy who showed that he could definitely be a piece. And look, the Knicks have a roster spot, a veteran roster spot. And to me, the guys that I'm looking at are Landry Shamet and possibly a DeLon Wright, one of these guys. But according to my Hofstra alum, Scoop B, he believes, and others believe, that it's going to be, they're really looking at one Ben Simmons. And I was like, Ben Simmons, really? And I started looking, and I'm like, Ben Simmons is still, he's a former, defensive, all defensive team guy. He's still young. What is he, 29? So he fits the bill, the time frame of this Knicks team, this core. And he's a guy that, look, say what you will, he's I think he's security, a security blanket for if Mikal Bridges or an OG Anunoby happen to go down. The guy plays all five defensive assignments. He can do that, and he can play the point. He can play the point. He can't shoot, and he'll never look at the basket though. But he can. He's like a Swiss Army knife, right? He can do whatever is needed. And who knows? Maybe you get him to sign the vet minimum, which I think is kind of an issue with him because pride, I'm a former all-star, all defensive guy, like, don't play me kind of thing. So I don't know what Ben Simmons is going to do there, but according to Scoop, this is where the Knicks are looking. Look, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. Although for me, I wanted Landry Shamet, a guy who can shoot, a guy who can defend, and a guy who can really, he's a three-point shooter, sniper, right? I think that's a guy that the Knicks need. I think when it comes to the wings, I think a guy like Mohamed Diawara is going to get on this team. I don't think they're sending him to France. I think you can use him. I think he'd be great to learn under Mikal Bridges and or an OG Anunoby. I think the kid is so talented, and his defense, forget it. Kevin McCullough Jr., defense. I think the Knicks have wings for days right now. Kevin McCullough Jr., another guy, solid. Marshawn Beauchamp or Beauchamp, however you pronounce it, solid, another wing. I mean, I'd like the Knicks to bring, keep all of them. And then you've got Dink Pate, right? I mean, these are guys that the Knicks cannot lose. Now that begs the question: what happens with Najee, the center? Another solid piece, and I think the Knicks. You can never have enough centers, right? You can never have enough centers, especially with Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson's injury history. And I think, you have Ariel Hakporti, a.k.a. Airport, is what I call him. But I think you may have to also bring in Anaji. The Knicks are really in a they've got a dilemma here. They've got to figure out what they're going to do here. But I think you've got to keep these young wings. You do need a backup point guard, and I mean Deuce McBride has done the job. But would you rather Deuce or would you rather have McCullough? Not McCullough. Kolek, Tyler Kolek, as your backup. I mean, he didn't really play well in the summer league. I mean, the last games or so, maybe he had one solid game to come to mind, but he's really not. It wasn't really impressive. So because of that, I think the Knicks will be looking at a point guard. I told you in my last video, Malcolm Brogdon. I think Malcolm Brogdon really fits the build. But if they're thinking about going with a Ben Simmons, he checks all boxes other than offensively. So if they go that route, you can't lose, right? You've got a former All-Star, a guy who can play defense. He's guarded guys like Jokic. They've put him on Brunson. I mean, the guy is a talent. So you can't go wrong if you're the Knicks. Again, but I really want Landry Shamet. Now, another dilemma is, and the big one and the elephant in the room is, you've got two major pieces and two guys who I believe will be the starting pieces in the Knicks starting lineup in Mikal Bridges, who they gave up 5 first-round picks and pick swaps and everything for Mikal. He had a so-so regular season, but he turned up in the playoffs, and he was a major reason why the Knicks beat the Celtics, right? Major reason. And I felt that if Thomas did certain things and used Mikal, better, the Knicks would have made the finals. Hence why the Knicks made the move and brought in Mike Brown. But Mikal Bridges and Mitchell Robinson are both due. And the question is, now you're hearing that from Knicks executives, supposedly, because the Knicks, it's weird because since Leon Rose has gotten here, he keeps everything close to the vest, and his team is they're stealth. You don't get leaks here. So they want to re-sign Mikal Bridges. And, but my whole thing is, if you sign Mikal Bridges to a 4-year, what is it, 100 and almost 60 million he can get, then you don't have money in the pot for Mitchell Robinson. And I think Mitchell Robinson is very important. I know the Knicks gave up 5 first-round picks and everything to the Nets, and I know that Mikal Bridges is a part of the Villanova trio that's here. But, and Mike Brown, from what he said he's not trading any of his wings. Stay tuned if one Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes available. But here's the deal. If you ask me who's more important, I think it's going to be Mitchell to me. And I think he would be cheaper. I think Mitchell Robinson proved to you how important he is to this team. Now, I told you, the Knicks have wings now. They're young. They're unproven. No question about it. But I think if you're going to have to trade somebody and lose somebody, I'm keeping Mitch because of what Mitch can still do. I mean, do you keep OG Anunoby, especially if he wants the full max and everything like that, and he's not going to play ball in one Mikal Bridges, which I don't think is going to be the case. I think he's going to hopefully take a page from Jalen Brunson and take a little less so they can sign a Mitchell Robinson. That's what I'm hoping that Mikal does. But look at what the Knicks have right now. They're going to bring Kevin McCullough to camp. They're going to bring a Marshawn Beauchamp to camp. They're going to bring a Dink Pate to camp. They're going to bring in a Muhammad Diawara. Again, these guys are 6'8". They're 6'8", between the 6'5", 6'8" range. They showed me they play great defense. Now I get it. Mikal Bridges is a 17-point a game scorer and everything like that. But if you with this new CBA, you've got to make tough decisions. I don't see how. I mean, some people will say, well, Huck Porty can replace Mitch. Mitchell Robinson, they were doing Hack-a-Mitch. Celtics did it. Pistons did it. Pacers, not really much, but they did it at times too. This shows the value of a Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, and you're seeing now the emergence of the bigs. Now they're coming back. The Adams of the world, who's now with the Houston, back with the Houston. The big man is important. So you can't just lose a Mitchell Robinson like that, y'all. Or do you think Najee can replace a Mitch? Maybe eventually. Huck Porty and Najee, maybe. But these are the tough decisions that have to be made with this new NBA collective bargaining agreement. But I think in a perfect Knicks world, Mikal takes less, Mitch takes, so that Mitch can get his bag, and they bring them both back and they rock out. Lastly, the other dilemma, they're waiting supposedly on Giannis. Hence why they have not extended Mikal. I think that's foul. That's bad business in a sense of, if you're Mikal and you're hearing this, like, oh, you guys are not extending me because you can't trade me in a Giannis trade. If you're Mikal Bridges, nah, I'm not signing an extension. I'm not playing these games. I mean, this is where the NBA has come to. You cannot keep all your players. And I don't like that. I don't like the new CBA because of that. I really think it's foul. Look, it's Adam Silver's getting what he wants. He's getting parity, which is fine. But I'd rather the Knicks be able to keep their players. And they still can if guys are not greedy. So, Mikal, the ball's in your court when they, approach him for the extension. And when it comes to Giannis, I'm a big Giannis fan. Love his TikToks with his wife. I think they're hilarious. But I'm not. You want to trade Karl Anthony Towns for Giannis? Cool. Maybe we do that. But I'm not giving them, again, Cat and Mikal and picks and all. For what? One player? I'm good. But what say you? What say you, Knicks fans? How do you feel? I gave you some of the dilemmas that face the Knicks right now. Who do you want to get the last veteran spot, and who do you want? What do you want to happen with these free agents, or could be free agents in 2026? Do the Knicks extend them? Do the Knicks trade Mikal? Do the Knicks trade Mitchell Robinson? Let me know in the comments. Now it's that time. The Jets can't catch a break. As training camp opens up, Justin Fields was carted off the field with a lower leg injury. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm on all social media platforms, well, most, at Sam I Analyze. Please like, share, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, à tout à l'heure.